The Wolf and the Seven Goat Kids. Once upon a time, there was an old she-goat who gave birth to 7 little goat kids. Like any loving mother, she cared deeply for her children. One day, the mother goat went into the forest to find food and called her kids together to give them some advice. "My dear children, I need to go into the forest for a while. Be cautious of the wolf, for if he enters our home, he will devour all of you, skin and fur. That cunning creature often disguises himself, but you can recognize him by his hoarse voice and his black, dirty feet." The little goat kids replied in unison, "Don't worry, dear mother. We will be vigilant, you can go without any worries." The mother goat bleated reassuringly and set off on her journey. Not long after, someone knocked on the door and called out loudly, "Open the door, my dear children. Your mother has returned and she has brought gifts for all of you." Hearing the hoarse voice, the little goat kids immediately recognized that it was the wolf and shouted back, "We won't open the door. You're not our mother. Our mother has a sweet and tender voice, while yours is hoarse and harsh. You're the wolf." The wolf hurriedly went to the grocery store to buy a large piece of candy to sweeten his voice. Then he returned, knocked on the door again, and called out, "Open the door, my dear children. Your mother has returned, and she has brought gifts for all of you." The wolf propped his feet up on the windowsill, but the little goat kids recognized him and said in unison, "We won't open the door. Your feet are not black like our mother's. You are the wolf." The wolf, disappointed, ran to the baker and said, "I injured my foot. Please put some dough on it for me." The baker put some dough on the wolf's foot, but the wolf didn't give up. He went to the miller and said, "Please sprinkle some white flour on the place where the dough is, so it looks like my foot." The miller thought, "Who is this wolf trying to deceive?" So he refused. The wolf threatened, "If you don't do it, I will eat you." Frightened, the miller reluctantly sprinkled white flour on the dough, making the wolf's foot appear white. The wicked wolf, feeling triumphant, returned to the goat's house for the 3rd time. He knocked on the door and called out, "Open the door, my dear children. Your mother has returned, and she has brought gifts from the forest for all of you." The little goat kid said, "Check your feet first, to see if you are truly our beloved mother." The wolf placed his foot on the windowsill. The little goat kids saw the white foot and thought it was their mother, so they opened the door. To their surprise, the intruder was the wolf himself. The frightened goat kids tried to hide. One jumped under the table, another hid under the bed, a third squeezed into the stove, the fourth hid in the kitchen, the fifth nestled in the cupboard, the sixth hid behind the laundry tub, and the seventh squeezed into the clock hanging on the wall. But the wolf found them all. Without hesitation, he swallowed them one by one, from one end to the other, except for the youngest goat kid hiding inside the clock. Satisfied with his hunger satisfied, the wolf left and went to the green meadow, lying under an old oak tree to take a nap. Just a moment after the mother goat returned home from the forest. Oh, the mother goat looked at the scene with a heavy heart. The door wide open, the furniture scattered and toppled, the washing tub shattered, the blankets and pillows thrown everywhere. The mother goat searched but couldn't find any of her children. She called out the name of each child, but none of them responded. Only when she called out the name of the youngest did she hear a faint voice saying, "Beloved mother, I'm hiding inside the clock hanging on the wall." The mother goat took the child out. The young goat told her mother about the arrival of the wolf and how it had eaten all of their siblings. You can imagine how bitterly the mother goat cried for her unfortunate children. In grief, the mother goat set out to search, and the young goat followed behind. When they reached the meadow, the mother goat saw the wolf lying at the base of a tree, snoring heavily, shaking the branches and leaves. The mother goat carefully observed the wolf and noticed its swollen belly, as if something inside was moving and bulging. The mother goat thought, "Heavens! Could it be that my poor children are still alive, swallowed by the wolf but not yet chewed?" The mother goat sent the young goat back home to fetch a pair of scissors and a needle. Then the mother goat slit open the belly of the monstrous creature. Before she could finish cutting with the first snip of the scissors, a young goat popped its head out. The mother continued cutting, and one by one, all 6 young goats jumped out, connected by their tails, and they were all alive and unharmed because the wolf was too greedy and swallowed them whole without chewing. What a joyful moment it was! The herd of children hugged and caressed their mother, jumping and prancing around. The mother goat instructed her children, "Now, go and find big stones to stuff into this wicked creature's stomach while it's still fast asleep." The 7 young goats hurriedly ran off to gather stones and stuffed as many as they could into the wolf's belly. Then the mother goat sewed up the wolf's belly so skillfully that the wolf didn't even wake up or notice. After a deep sleep, the wolf woke up. It was extremely thirsty because of the stones filling its belly, so it decided to go to the stream for a drink. Just as it stood up and took a step, the stones in its belly rolled and made a clattering sound. At that moment, the wolf exclaimed, "What's all this commotion and clattering sound? Running inside my belly like this? I thought they were 6 young goats. Why are there only stones lying inside?" When it reached the edge of the stream and bent down to drink, the weight of the stones caused it to fall into the water, and it drowned without a chance to utter a single word. The 7 young goats saw this and shouted with joy, "The wolf is dead, the wolf is dead." They rejoiced and danced with their mother by the stream. So, my dear friends, you have just heard the story of the wolf and the 7 young goats.